Robert Suderburg. Robert Charles Suderburg, 28 January 1936 in Spencer, Iowa, 22 April 2013 in Williamstown, Massachusetts, was an American composer, conductor, and pianist. Biography. The son of a jazz trombonist, Suderburg studied composition with Paul Fettler at the University of Minnesota, where he received a BA in 1957. He did postgraduate studies with Richard Donovan at Yale University in 1960, and with George Rochberg at the University of Pennsylvania, where he received his PhD in 1966 with a dissertation, Tonal Cohesion in Schoenberg's 12-tone music. After teaching at Bryn Mawr College, the Philadelphia Academy of Music, and the University of Pennsylvania, in 1966 he was appointed professor at the University of Washington in Seattle, where he also became associate director of the University of Washington's Contemporary Group, and taught there until 1974. From 1974 to 1984 he was Chancellor of the North Carolina School of the Arts, then in 1985 joined the music faculty of Williams College in Williamstown, Massachusetts. He served as chair of the department from 1986 to 1995. In 1994 he was appointed to a named chair, and continued to teach until his retirement in 2001. Suderberg's compositions have been published by Theodore Presser and performed nationally and internationally by major orchestras, ensembles, and solo artists, including the Philadelphia Orchestra, the Seattle and North Carolina Symphonies, and the Philadelphia String Quartet. His works and performances have been recorded by Columbia, Vox, and Delphon, among others. Suderburg taught music at Williams College beginning in 1985, became composer in residence there in 1986, and served as chair of the music department from 1986 to 1995. He retired in 2001. Suderburg conducted and taught at Bryn Mawr, the Philadelphia Musical Academy, the University of Pennsylvania, and the City University of New York. He also served as co-director of the Contemporary Group at the University of Washington 1966-74 and president of the Cornish Institute in Seattle 1984-85. He served on many boards and panels, including the National Endowment for the Arts NEA Composers Panel from 1975 to 1981. He received fellowships, awards, and prizes including 2 Guggenheim Fellowships, 2 NEA Fellowships, numerous SCAP awards, awards from the Rockefeller Foundation and the American Music Center, the USA Award, and others. Musical style. Suderberg's early compositions were serial, but in the late 1960s he abandoned 12-tone technique and turned to a highly personal, lyrical, basically neo-romantic style. His musical language is largely modal, with Phrygian and Lydian predominating, and occasionally adopts scale patterns characteristic of non-Western traditions, such as those of Japanese koto music. Rising major sevenths and minor ninths are favored melodic intervals, and his harmonies frequently feature sounds derived from the major seventh and major seventh with added fourth chords. He tends to use moderate to slow underlying tempos, but with active and pliable surface rhythms, suggesting improvisation. Composition selective list. Composition selective list concert mass for SAP Choir 1966 Moments, for piano 1962 Cantata I text, Revelations, for soprano and chamber orchestra 1963 Cantata Roman II text by the composer, for tenor and chamber orchestra 1964 Composition on Traditional Carols, SAP Choir, Congregation, Brass Choir 1965 Courses on Poems of Yeats, soprano, tenor, SAP Choir, and chamber orchestra 1966 Chamber Music Entertainments, for violin and cello 1967 Chamber Music Roman II Dramatic Entertainments, for string quartet 1967 Orchestra Musicae 1969 Sure, for child actor and orchestra 1970 Solo Musicae, for violin 1971 Chamber Music Roman 3 Night Set, for trombone and piano 1972 Wind/Fence, for orchestra 1973 Concerto Within a Mirror of Time, for piano and orchestra 1974 Chamber Music Roman 4 Rachel Series, for percussion ensemble 1975 Chamber Music V. Stevenson, for solo voice, string quartet and tape 1976 Percussion Concerto 1977 Voyage de Nuit, Concerto after Baudelaire, for solo voice and chamber orchestra 1978 Chamber Music VI 3 Movements, for violin and double bass 1980 Harp Concerto 1982, Reverend 1989 Chamber Music Roman 7 Ceremonies, for trumpet and piano 1984 Chamber Music Roman 8 Sonata for trumpet and piano 1988 Solo Music Roman 2 Ritual Cycle of Lyrics and Dances, for viola 1989 Chamber Music Roman 9 Breath and Circuses, for voice, trombone, and piano 1991 Chamber Music X Entertainment Sets, for brass quintet 1992 Chamber Music Roman 11 Strophes of Night and Dawn after Baudelaire, for brass quintet 1992 Ceremonial Music, for brass quintet 1993 Fanfare for Baudelaire, for brass quintet 1993 Solo Music Roman 3 Billet Colorless, for clarinet 1997 5 Songs Amerindian Texts, for solo voice, children's chorus, and piano 1997 Chamber Music Roman 12 Concerto Passages, for brass quintet 1998. Discography. Chamber Music Roman 2 Dramatic Entertainments for String Quartet. Philadelphia String Quartet. The contemporary composer in the United States of America. Turnabout. Upbeat TVS 34524. with George Rochberg String Quartet No. 2. Chamber Music Roman 3 Night Set for trombone and piano. Chamber Music Roman 4 Ritual Series for percussion ensemble. Chamber Music v. Stevenson for voice, string quartet, and tape. Stuart Dempster, trombone. Robert Suderburg, piano. Elizabeth Suderburg, soprano. Seompi String Quartet, University of Michigan Percussion Ensemble, Cond. Charles Owen, New York N. J. Dufkin Recording Society, 1990. CD, DRS 2127. Chamber Music Roman 3 Night Set for trombone and piano. Blues, Ballads and Beyond. Mark Hatzler, trombone. Summit Records DCD 668, 2015. Chamber Music Roman 4 Ritual Series. First Construction. Winthrop University Percussion Ensemble, Cond. Adam Snow. Eagle Editions. CD. With works by Ronald Lopresti, John Cage, Bob Becker, Camille Saint-Saëns, Charles Garnard, Mawal Defala, and David Rose. Chamber Music Roman 7 Ceremonies for trumpet and piano. Mixed doubles. Michael Hilson Tunnel, trumpet, Mean Tunnel, piano. Columbus, Ohio, cornet, 1990. LP, LPS 3210. With works by Donald H. White, David Liptak. Chamber Music Roman 7 Ceremonies, and Chamber Music Roman 8 Sonata for trumpet in Celsus on piano. Trumpet works. Charles Schluter, trumpet, Deborah DeWolf Amory piano. White Plains and Y. Claire's Classics 2003. CD, KL 5126. With Gene Hugo, Sonata for trumpet and piano, Paul Hindemith, Sonata for trumpet and piano. Chamber Music Roman 7 Ceremonies for trumpet and piano. The International Trumpet Guild presents Terry Verson. Terry Verson, trumpet, Susan Nowicki, piano. International Trumpet Guild. CD IC 1. Issued with the Journal of the International Trumpet Guild 16, number 1 1991. With works by Peter Maxwell Davies, Robert Henderson, Jack Castiard, Fisher Tull, and Aaron Copeland. Chamber Music Roman 7 Ceremonies, and Chamber Music Roman 8 Sonata for trumpet in Celsus and piano. With Eurotrumpet. Charles Schluter, trumpet, Robert Suderburg, piano. Inglewood Cliffs and J. Fox Classics, 1995. TD, VOX 7513. Chamber Music Roman 8 Sonata for trumpet in Celsus and piano. Arbel. Terry Verson, trumpet, Susan Nowicki, piano. Heerenveen, Holland, De Haas Classical, 1997. CD, DHR 197.6. With music by Joseph Turin, Norman Dello Gioio, Vincent Persichetti, Jan Wiki, and Augusta Reed Thomas. Chamber Music Roman 11 Strophes of Night and Dawn after Baudelaire for brass quintet. Strophes of the Night and Dawn. Lord Estate Brass Quintet. Thames, War, Crystal Records, 1997. CD, 566. With music by J. South. Wow, Richard Peasley, John Cheetham, Gwyneth Walker, Stephen Everett, and Jan Coetzer. Concerto Within the Mirror of Time for piano and orchestra. The Helsinki, piano, Seattle Symphony Orchestra, Cond. Milton Katims. New York Odyssey, 1976. LP, Y34140. With William Schumann, Symphony No. 8. At Sanctus. Portland State University Chamber Choir, Cond. Bruce Byrne. Albany Records. CD, Troy 243. With works by Brian Johansson, Tomas Esaboda, Salvador Brotens, Vijay Singh, and Norman Dinerstein. Reissued online, New York, Dram, 2007. Streaming audio, T-OT 143. Subscription access solo music I, for an accompanied violin, and solo music Roman 2, ritual cycle of lyrics and dance, for an accompanied viola. 20th century bravura chamber music. Elizabeth Suderburg, soprano, Timothy Baker, violin, Donald McGuinness, viola, Russell Miller, piano. Pleasantville and Y. Claire's Classics 2000. CD, KO 5106. With Charles Martin Loeffler, Quattro Poems, for voice, viola and piano Op. 5. Paul Hindemith, Sonata for viola and piano Op. 11 No. 4. Voyage de Nuit Concerto d'après Baudelaire. Elizabeth Suderburg, soprano, Piedmont Chamber Orchestra, Cond. Nicholas Harsony. Turnabout, 1981. LP TV 34776. With Benjamin Britten, Les Illuminations Op. 18.